doors swing open. Amanda Lewis walks in, head high, lips curved into a smirk that cuts through the room like a blade. Cameras flash, reporters lean forward, pens hovering over notebooks. She slides into her seat at the defense table, straightens her blazer, and crosses her legs. The smirk doesn't fade. It grows. Her attorney whispers something urgent, but Amanda waves him off, her eyes scanning the gallery like she owns it. The jury files in, 12 faces blank as stone. Amanda's fingers drum once on the table, confident, almost bored. Across the aisle, tucked between two social workers, sits a small boy, 7 years old. His hands grip the edge of the wooden bench, knuckles white. His name is Jamal Hutto. He doesn't look at his mother. He stares at the floor, shoulders hunched, like he's trying to disappear. The judge clears his throat. Amanda's smirk sharpens. "Hi, viewers. Kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is." The bailiff stands. "All rise." The room holds its breath. Amanda leans back in her chair, chin tilted up. She's already rehearsed this moment in her mind. She's already walking out of here a free woman. But something shifts. One of the jurors glances at Jamal, then another. Amanda notices. Her smirk falters for half a second before snapping back into place. The judge's gavel hovers. The verdict is coming. But first, they need to know how it all started. How a sunny afternoon in Esto, Florida, turned into this. How a child's voice became the only thing standing between his mother and freedom. What would you do if the only person who could save you was the one you loved most? 3:07 p.m. The call comes through crackling, breathless. "My baby! She's in the pool! She's not breathing!" The 911 operator types fast, dispatch already moving. Amanda Lewis's voice breaks over the line, words tumbling out in jagged gasps. "Please, hurry! Please!" Sirens wail down Magnolia Street. Neighbors step onto porches, shielding their eyes from the afternoon sun. 2 paramedics hit the front yard at a sprint, equipment clattering. They round the corner to the backyard. There, beside a small above-ground pool, lies 7-year-old Adriana Hutto. Her body is still. Water drips from her hair, pooling on the grass. Amanda kneels beside her, hands pressed to her mouth, rocking. One paramedic drops down, starts compressions. The other preps the oxygen mask. Amanda sobs. She was trying to get the bugs out. A red wagon sits near the pool's edge. A metal pan floats in the water, drifting slow. The officers arrive. They take notes. They nod. Tragic accident. A mother's worst nightmare. Case closed. Except someone saw everything. But what if the person crying the loudest was the one who caused the scream? Jamal Hutto stops talking. His grandmother, Miss Lorraine, notices it first. The boy who used to chatter through breakfast now sits silent, pushing eggs around his plate. He won't sleep in his own bed. He won't play outside. He sits in the corner of the living room with a box of crayons and draws the same picture over and over. A stick figure, another stick figure lying down. Blue scribbles for water, a hand pressing down. Miss Lorraine watches him for 3 days before she asks, "Baby, what are you drawing?" Jamal's hand stops mid-stroke. He doesn't look up. "That's Mommy." His voice is barely a whisper. "And that's Adriana." Miss Lorraine's chest tightens. "What's Mommy doing, sweetheart?" Jamal's crayon hovers over the paper. His bottom lip trembles. She's holding her face in the water. The room goes cold. Miss Lorraine's hand shakes as she reaches for the phone. Her voice cracks when the dispatcher answers. "I need to speak to the sheriff, right now." Within 2 hours, Detective Marcus Green is sitting in Miss Lorraine's living room, looking at a 7-year-old's drawing. Jamal's words echo in the quiet. "Mommy killed her." The case reopens. Not an accident, a homicide. How does a child find the words to destroy the only parent he has left? Amanda sits under fluorescent lights, arms crossed tight. Detective Green leans forward, pen tapping his notepad. "Walk me through it again." Amanda's jaw clenches. "I already told you. Adriana was trying to scoop bugs out of the pool. She leaned too far. The wagon tipped. I turned around and she was underwater." Her voice rises. "I tried to save her. I did CPR. I called 911. What more do you want from me?" Detective Green doesn't blink. "Your son says something different." Amanda's face hardens. Jamal has a wild imagination. He's 7. He watches too much TV. He doesn't understand what he saw. In another room, Jamal sits on a chair too big for him, legs swinging. A child psychologist sits across from him, speaking softly. "Can you show me what you saw?" Jamal picks up 2 dolls. His hands shake. He positions one doll over the other, pressing the first doll's hand over the second doll's face. "Like this." "Mommy put her hand here." He points to the doll's forehead. "And her thumb here." He touches the doll's cheek. "She pushed her down. Adriana tried to get up, but Mommy didn't let her." The psychologist's pen freezes. The details are too specific, too consistent, too clear. Prosecutor Tanya Simmons reviews both statements. Amanda's angry denial, Jamal's calm, detailed account. She circles one phrase in her notes. "Didn't let her come up." The defense attorney argues hard. This boy is traumatized. He's confused. He's turning a tragic accident into a monster story because he needs someone to blame. The prosecutor counters. Or he's the only one brave enough to tell the truth. Who do you believe? A mother fighting for her freedom or a child who can't stop shaking? Detective Green returns to the backyard with a tape measure. The pool stands 33 inches high. He measures twice. Adriana Hutto's last recorded height at her school physical, 47 inches. He does the math. If she fell in, her head would have been 14 inches above the waterline. All she had to do was stand. He examines the red wagon. It sits perfectly positioned, like a prop on a stage. The metal pan floats near the edge, untouched by the chaos of a drowning. Something about the scene feels rehearsed. Inside the house, the smell hits immediately. Urine, old and sharp. The carpets are stained. Unwashed dishes pile in the sink. Adriana's room tells a different story. Her bed is stripped, the mattress marked with dark yellow circles. On the closet door, someone has written in thick black marker, "Loser." Detective Green's jaw tightens. Neighbors talk. Amanda worked night shifts. She was exhausted. Adriana had ADHD, couldn't sit still, threw tantrums that lasted hours. 2 days before the drowning, Adriana sprayed Windex all over the TV. Amanda lost it. Screamed so loud the neighbors heard through the walls. One neighbor leans in, voice dropping. That woman was at the end of her rope. Detective Green flips through photos from the scene. Then he sees it. The autopsy report. Bruises on Adriana's forehead. Bruises on her left cheek. He lays the photos side by side. The pattern is unmistakable. What happens when the evidence starts speaking louder than words? The medical examiner's photos land on Prosecutor Simmons' desk at 8 in the morning. She picks up the first image. Adriana's forehead, 2 dark marks, oblong, pressed deep into the skin. She flips to the next photo. The left cheek, a single bruise, rounded at the edges. Tanya reaches for her coffee, then stops. She grabs a ruler, measures the forehead bruises, 2.3 inches apart. She opens her drawer, pulls out the case file. Jamal's demonstration, the psychologist's notes. Subject placed palm on forehead, thumb on cheek. Tanya places her own hand flat on the desk, measures from palm to thumb. 2.3 inches, her breath catches. She dials Detective Green. We need forensic confirmation. Now. 3 days later, the courtroom goes silent as the forensic analyst takes the stand. The images project onto a screen 10 feet high. Adriana's small face, bruises mapped in yellow circles. The analyst overlays a transparent outline of an adult hand. It matches perfectly, palm to forehead, thumb to cheek. The pressure points align with surgical precision. Amanda Lewis grips the edge of the defense table. Her knuckles go pale. For the first time since the trial began, her smirk vanishes. Her attorney scribbles notes frantically, but Amanda doesn't look at him. She stares at the screen, jaw working, sweat beading at her hairline. The forensic analyst continues. These injuries are consistent with forceful restraint applied to the victim's face. The jury leans forward. Amanda's breathing quickens. Can science prove what a child's words couldn't? Amanda stands. Her voice cuts through the courtroom. I want to take a polygraph test, right now. Her attorney grabs her wrist, tries to pull her back down. She jerks free. I didn't kill my daughter. Let me prove it. The judge raises an eyebrow. Ms. Lewis, that's highly unusual. I don't care. I have nothing to hide. 2 days later, Amanda sits in a beige room, wires taped to her chest, fingers, temples. The examiner adjusts the sensors, his face blank as concrete. He opens a folder. Did you intentionally harm Adriana Hutto? Amanda's voice is steady. No. Did you hold her underwater? No. Did you cause her death? No. The machine hums. Green lines spike and settle on the monitor. The examiner watches the readouts, makes notes. Amanda stares straight ahead, chin lifted. When it's over, she leans back, exhales slow. 3 hours later, the results come back. No deception indicated. The courtroom explodes. Reporters shout questions. The defense attorney stands, voice booming. Ladies and gentlemen, this woman has passed a polygraph examination. She is telling the truth. Prosecutor Simmons stays seated, pen tapping her notepad. She doesn't look rattled. The jury shifts in their seats, faces uncertain now. One juror whispers to another. Amanda's smirk returns, slow and sharp. Her attorney clasps her shoulder. She tilts her head toward the gallery, toward the cameras. For a moment, it looks like she might walk free. Then the courtroom doors open. What good is a machine when a child holds the real answer? Jamal Hutto walks into the courtroom, holding Miss Lorraine's hand. His shoes squeak on the polished floor. Every head turns. He's wearing a button-down shirt 2 sizes too big, sleeves rolled at the wrists. His eyes are red-rimmed, swollen. He climbs into the witness chair. His feet dangle 6 inches off the ground. The prosecutor approaches slowly, crouches to his eye level. Jamal, do you know why you're here today? His voice comes out small. Yes, ma'am. Can you tell the court what you saw that day by the pool? Jamal's hands twist in his lap. He glances toward the defense table. Amanda stares at him, eyes burning, jaw clenched tight. Jamal flinches, looks away. I saw Mommy with Adriana. Where were they? By the pool. What was your mommy doing? Jamal's voice cracks. She was holding Adriana's head in the water. The courtroom goes still. Not a cough, not a rustle. How was she holding her? Jamal lifts his hands, places one palm flat in the air, the other curled like a claw. Her hand was on Adriana's face, like this, and she pushed her down. What was Adriana doing? Jamal's lip trembles. Tears spill over. She was trying to get up. Her arms were moving, but Mommy didn't let her. One juror covers her mouth. Another wipes his eyes. Amanda leans toward her attorney, hissing something harsh and low. He grabs her arm, shakes his head. But Amanda doesn't stop. Her eyes bore into Jamal like nails. Jamal sees it. His whole body starts to shake. How much courage does it take for a child to speak against the person he once called Mommy? Prosecutor Simmons walks to the evidence table. She picks up 2 dolls, one larger than the other. She hands them to Jamal. Can you show the jury what you saw? Jamal hesitates. His hands tremble so hard the dolls almost slip. He positions the larger doll over the smaller one. Slowly, deliberately, he presses the larger doll's hand over the smaller doll's face. The motion is mechanical, haunting. He holds it there. 5 seconds. 10. The courtroom watches in absolute silence. Jamal's voice breaks the quiet. Like that. She kept her there. Prosecutor Simmons's voice is gentle. Jamal, why didn't you try to help your sister? Jamal's face crumples. Sobs rack his small chest. Because Mommy told me not to. She said stay back. She said don't move. The words hit like a hammer. 2 jurors openly cry now. A third stares at Amanda, disgust clear on his face. Amanda shoots to her feet. That's a lie! He's lying! The judge slams the gavel. Ms. Lewis, sit down. Her attorney yanks her back into the chair, but Amanda's mask is gone. Her face is red, veins standing out on her neck. She glares at Jamal with pure venom. Jamal shrinks in the chair, curling into himself. Miss Lorraine stands in the gallery, hand over her heart. The prosecutor turns to the jury. No further questions. Jamal is led out of the courtroom, head down, shoulders shaking. Amanda watches him go. Her chest heaves. The jury's faces tell the story. They've already decided. When a child's tears speak louder than a mother's rage, what's left to say? The verdict comes fast. The jury deliberates for 2 hours. When they file back in, none of them look at Amanda. She sits rigid, hands clasped on the table. The smirk is gone. Her face is pale, lips pressed into a thin line. The foreperson stands. We, the jury, find the defendant, Amanda Lewis, guilty of first-degree felony murder. The gavel falls. Amanda screams, "No! This is wrong! I didn't do it!" Officers move in. She fights them, thrashing, voice shrill. Jamal is lying! He's a liar! The judge's voice cuts through. Amanda Lewis, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole in the Florida Department of Corrections. Amanda's eyes, wild, lock onto the gallery. She finds Jamal, sitting between Miss Lorraine and a social worker. Her voice drops to a hiss, cold and sharp. You'll regret this, Jamal. When you're older, You'll know what you did to me." The officers pull her toward the side door. She twists back one last time. "You destroyed your own mother!" Jamal doesn't look up. His small body trembles. Miss Lorraine wraps her arms around him, shielding him. Amanda is led out, still screaming, still denying. The courtroom empties slowly. Jamal walks out through a back exit, his hand gripped tight in his grandmother's. 8 years later, Amanda Lewis remains in prison. She maintains her innocence. She writes letters. She files appeals. But the evidence hasn't changed. The bruises, the testimony, the physics of a pool too shallow for an accident. In Esto, Florida, the pool still stands in the backyard, covered now with a tarp, slowly filling with leaves. The question lingers in the air, unanswered, haunting. Did a 7-year-old boy send an innocent woman to prison for the rest of her life? Or did he finally give voice to a truth too terrible for a child to carry alone? If you enjoyed this story, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next upload. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective might inspire someone else. Thank you for watching.